All right. We are live. Welcome, everybody. David Dodge and Mike Slane, the discount property investors, coming to you today to talk about what is wholesaling. What is wholesaling real estate? In fact, we have written a book on this. It is called The Ultimate Guide to Wholesaling Real Estate. Chapter 2 within this book is all about what is wholesaling, and we actually have it broken down into a couple different sections. Wholesaling, marketing, making offers, securing the property via contracts, selling the deal or the contract, as well as closing the deal and getting paid. This is pages 9 through 14 of the Ultimate Guide to Wholesaling Real Estate by yours truly, David Dodge and Michael Slane. Mike, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just going live here on the old tickety tack as well. And we're getting ready to talk some real estate. So I'm actually down in one of our buildings. This is a building down in South City that was converted to a storage unit. And yeah, that's what I'm doing today. So I'm down here. We had one of the units go vacant, some stuff left behind, and we are just letting somebody come and pick up some of the stuff in it because we have no use for it. So we're getting rid of it, letting somebody else have it. And yeah, again, kind of a win-win.
All right. Well,
Cool.
that's awesome.
But let's talk.
It's,
I'm, yeah, I'm excited to have a little topic for today's call. I think that's a good idea. Get a little more structure on it. In addition to, trying to uh, interact with people. So I think
Mike, you seem to be cutting in and out, buddy. Your internet was good, and it seems that we might have lost you here, man. Let's give Mike 1 minute to jump back in. Otherwise, I can just take over and rock and roll.
yeah, it looks like we're freezing up here, man.
That's all right. I'll take over. So, guys, what is
Cool,
wholesaling is the first part of today's call, or the first part of today's lesson, I should say. And we had broken this down into 5 or 6 different parts, right? So, what is wholesaling? Wholesaling is buying something at a great price, often in bulk, but not always, and then selling that product or item at a good price to someone else and making the spread. All right. So, when it comes to wholesaling real estate, we are getting a piece of real estate, a home, piece of land, a building, some sort of property, and we're buying that property at a great price, and then we're selling it to somebody else at a good price. And we're essentially making the spread between good and great. Now, the caveat here is we are not necessarily having to buy the real estate prior to selling it. And that's what makes wholesaling so appealing as an investment strategy or a flipping strategy. We are able to essentially use paperwork, contracts, and agreements to gain control of thus said property or home or land or whatever it may be, and able to gain control of it and get what's referred to as equitable interest in that property. And then we're able to then market and sell the equitable interest or the contract that we have to purchase that property to a buyer. So, the great thing about wholesaling is you don't need to buy it before you sell it. You just need to control it. That's a good way to sum that up. What you got, Mike? Sound like you want to say something.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was just muting my mic on the eCam and was chatting over on the TikTok. Just mention that we are talking about wholesaling.
Awesome. Okay, good deal.
And I've
So
got some background noise, so I'm muting myself periodically here.
no problem, no problem. So one thing I want to mention about wholesaling, specifically the type of wholesaling that we are in when it comes to real estate and property wholesaling, is that this is a marketing business. And in fact, part two, right? Part one is what is wholesaling? We've explained it. You're using contracts to gain control of properties, and then you're selling those contracts. It doesn't actually require you to buy the property before you sell it. All right. Part two is that this is a marketing business. This is a marketing business before it is any other business. If we have nobody that wants to sell us a home that we can send a contract to gain control of that property, we are not going to be very good at this business. We're not going to have any opportunities. So we have to understand that this is a marketing business before it is any other business. Now, when it comes to marketing, we do a lot of different types of marketing. All right, we send direct mail, we drive for dollars. Sometimes we will place bandit signs. We have a website. We just got a lead this morning from our website from SEO. We run online advertising campaigns through Google and YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and different places where we can generate leads online. We do a lot of networking. We sometimes will buy properties from other wholesalers and via agents, but at the end of the day, we're doing something to get the message out into the universe that we are interested in buying properties, ideally off market, direct to seller, and we are looking to buy properties that are distressed. That's how we're often able to be able to get good deals on these properties. We trade these individuals' convenience in exchange for discounts. All right. Deep discounts, ideally. So, marketing is the name of the game. Okay. The next part of this chapter here that we're talking about in our Ultimate Guide to Wholesaling Real Estate book, which I mentioned from the beginning, Mike and I wrote this book about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 years ago at this point, is making offers. So, when it comes to wholesaling real estate, all right, we have to first market our business or ourselves as being somebody that can help provide a solution to people that want to sell. Once we find those people that want to sell, we need to make a friend with them, and then we need to ultimately make them an offer to buy the property. Now, I mentioned this earlier and I want to say it again. We don't necessarily need to buy the property before we sell it. We can just use paperwork, we can use contracts to gain control. But in order for somebody to sign our contract, we need to make them an offer. And if we're never making any offers, we're never going to get anybody to agree or accept an offer, and we're never going to get anybody to sign the paperwork that has the offer outlined on it. Okay? So if you guys are looking for a free copy of our contract, you can go to freewholesalecourse.com to get a copy, or we provide that inside of Real Estate School. I'm going to go ahead and put this comment on the screen. I think I know how to do this. I did it last time. Add to broadcast. There we go. So join Real Estate School.
Yes, sir.
Link. What you got, Mike?
I was going to say it's reischool.com.
reischool.com is the quick,
SK.
yeah, or school.com/real estate. They both take you to the same spot. So making offers, though, guys, you got to learn how to make offers. You got to learn how to start making friends with sellers and help solve these individuals' problems so they will want to work with you. Okay. The next part is securing the property via contract. So once you make the offer, all right, let's say a seller has a property they want to sell. They're asking 100, and I come in and I say, yeah, I can't pay you 100, but I can pay you 60 for it. And they say, yeah, I don't love that number, but you know what? I need to sell it anyway. So, okay, let's do it. 60,000. I made the offer. Well, now I need to present them with a contract. A contract is nothing more than a piece of paper that outlines the terms of the agreement, the terms of the sale. So it's just going to say David is willing to buy the property from Jim for 60,000, and we're going to close on this in 3 weeks at the title company up the street, so on and so forth. Well, I am going to get that contract to Jim, the seller. I'm going to sign it, and Jim is going to sign it. And now we have secured the property via a contract. We want to then take that contract to a title company and do what's referred to as opening escrow by giving them a copy of that contract and then depositing our earnest money. Now, oftentimes the earnest money is simply $100. It doesn't need to be a crazy amount of money. In fact, I've probably done maybe 100 deals, give or take, where the earnest money's only been $10. So you don't need a crazy high amount of earnest money, but you do need some earnest money along with your contract deposited to a title company in order for that contract to be valid and legal. All right. Once we've deposited the earnest money and the contract, then we're going to go back and we're going to do what we did in the beginning. We're going to go back to the marketing business and we're going to market, bless you, Mike. We're going to market that deal to all of our investor friends, all of our cash buyers. That might be landlords, that might be fix and flippers, that might just be other investors. We can find these people very, very easily. We can find them on Facebook, Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups that are specific to real estate investing, wholesaling, flipping, landlording, you name it. We can go to local RIAs and find these individuals at the local RIA clubs. And last but not least, we can start to slowly build a list of buyers from people that we meet. We can use software to help automate that process, or maybe that's just people that we've met in person at local RIA clubs. I guess there's obviously many more ways. You can use bandit signs to build a buyers list, or you can go online and you can find a list of buyers that you can export and skip trace, and then start calling, texting, and emailing those individuals about your deal. Okay, so that's going to be selling the deal, or really what you're selling them is a contract you have to purchase that deal. And then the last part of today's topic and today's training is simply closing the deal and getting paid. Now, there are two typical routes to go about doing this. There's actually lots of ways to go about doing this, but you'll find that there are two typical routes that are going to make up 90 to 95% of these two strategies. All right. Number one is referred to as assigning your contract. So let's say I have this property from Jim. That's been our hypothetical seller this call. And Jim is willing to sell me a property at $60,000. And I blast this deal out, post it in local Facebook groups, and I do different types of marketing. And I find a buyer that's willing to buy this property from me at, let's say, $70,000. I can assign my $60,000 contract to my buyer for $10,000. All right, 60 plus 10 is 70, and buyer's willing to pay 70, and I can essentially have a $10,000 payday by just getting out of the way. So strategy number one is simply called assigning. Strategy number two is referred to as double closing. Now, not all title companies are going to let you double close without having any money invested. It depends on the title company. So all the more reason why you want to make friends with your title company and make sure that they're investor friendly and that they will allow for this. But if they are willing to allow for this, you can use your end buyer's money. So I'll buy it for 60, and really I should correct myself. I'm using the wrong verbiage here. I will contract it for 60, and then I will sell it for 70. And I'm still going to make the difference there, the spread of $10,000. However, I'm going to have to typically pay title costs on the buy and on the sell. So I might not walk with 10,000 like I would with my assignment. I might only walk with 8 or 9,000 because I'm going to have to pay some fees. But I can essentially use my end buyer's money to help facilitate the transaction. That's it. It's very simple. So you can use an assignment and you just get out of the way and you don't even need to go to the title company. You just sell your paperwork. Or number two, double close it is where you essentially have two closings. That's why it's referred to as a double close. You have your buy closing and then your sell closing. And those closings typically take place in the same hour. You know, at I guess at a minimum the same day. But oftentimes it's simultaneously happening at the same day. So that's a pretty good recap, or I should say just, simple explanation of what is wholesaling real estate. right? Or properties. You're using contracts to gain control. That's really what you're doing. You have to get into the marketing business and understand that this is a marketing business for it's any other business. So if you want to be able to find that house that you can sell at 70 and get it under contract at 60, you're gonna need to learn how to do some marketing. Maybe it's cold calling, maybe it's driving for dollars and knocking on doors, maybe it's sending direct mail to vacants or absentees, but you gotta do something. Okay? Once you find those individuals, you need to learn how to make friends and then make them offers. Solve their problems. Next is securing that property with the contract because the offer you made, they like it and they're willing to accept it. And then you're going to then go and you're going to do marketing all over again and you're going to market that contract or that deal that you have under contract to all your investor friends. And if you don't have any investor friends, start making investor friends. Go to RIAs, join the local Facebook groups. And last but not least is to choose the strategy that you like best, assigning it or double closing it, work with your title company, keep everybody in the loop, and then you ultimately can get paid. And you can, in this scenario, you could make anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 by contracting a house for 60 and selling it to another investor at 70. Guys, this is essentially chapter 2 of The Ultimate Guide to Wholesaling Real Estate by yours truly, David Dodge, myself, and my business partner, Michael Slane. So if you guys are looking to learn more, check our book out. You can find the book on Amazon and Audible. Or if you're looking for even more, you can come join us inside of Real Estate School, where we do weekly trainings and coaching calls on Wednesday nights. We also have courses on wholesaling, rentals, fix and flipping, marketing, private money, you name it. We have all sorts of resources. We even have contracts and assignments inside of that group. Mike, anything you want to add to that?
No, that's a good summary of wholesaling. I mean, I think you hit the most important part. The most important part is that you are marketing. Doesn't matter what business you're in the business of marketing. That's one of my longstanding favorite quotes. No matter what we try to do as a partnership, if we're not marketing, we know we're not actually in that business. Wholesaling is really the action of controlling a property, and you're essentially controlling it with a contract, like you said, buying it and flipping the paper. You're not necessarily flipping the house unless you take title to it. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. People tend to overcomplicate it. It is not that complicated. It doesn't necessarily mean it's easy, but it is not a complicated thing to do. So, yeah, guys, get out there. Check us out in reischool.com. That's where we have wholesaling described in much more detail. We've got courses on it, courses on other topics in real estate investing as well. So you definitely want to check it out and come interact with us more there. We're also going to be going live, or the effort is to be going live every day around the same time, around 2:30 Central Time. So you should see Dave and me going live in a bunch of different places every day. Thank you
Yeah,
guys so
buddy.
much for watching. You got anything else?
That's it for today. Guys, we'll see you
All
soon. Thanks for tuning in. Signing off.